Give me a minute. And let's talk about yesterday's massive drone and missile strikes against targets in the temporarily occupied territories and in mainland Russia. So we saw massive drone attacks against Crimea last night in Jankoy, Yakir, just north of Saki and Sevastopol and Kerch. Boom, 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 all over the place. Plus Berdyansk. And out of this has come the rumor, and I want to stress that it is strictly a rumor, that Gerasimov was struck in one of these strikes. Now, to date, I cannot verify that. I can't even verify that he was in Crimea last night. So at this point, I think you should dismiss any reports of Gerasimov's passing as premature and unsubstantiated. Unless we get some official word from somebody, I can't believe it. I just don't believe it. In addition, we saw these other strikes and air. Now, we don't have details on what was hit, if anything was hit, but we do know that air defense was active. This is air defense over Novosibirsk, which is the deep water port on Russia's mainland of the Black Sea, where most of the Black Sea fleet, the larger vessels in the Black Sea fleet, have been hiding from the Ukrainians. Well, apparently they needed some defending last night. Guys, on any of these, I try to include the watermark with the Telegram channel that I took the image from, because I don't do combat footage here. But if you want to see that stuff, that's where you will find it. In Belgorod, air defenses were active, and Russian forces reported that they shot down 10 Ukrainian missiles. Now, I don't know that that's true. You can't really tell from the footage that we have from the Telegram channel Canal Bel Plush here. But it's important to recognize that the Ukrainians don't have missiles they can fire into Russia, really. I mean, the old S-200 converted missiles, the S-300 converted ground-to-ground missiles, maybe. But that's it. None of the Western the Neptunes, right? But there's too few of them to waste on Belgorod, I would think. And certainly not 10 at a go. The Western missiles they can't use on Russia's main territory because that's the condition that we gave them to them in. And so far, Ukraine has not shown any inclination to break that bond and threaten their supply of Western weaponry. From just north of the Saki airfield, we have this S-400 missile emplacement, which may have been the target of one of the drone strikes last night. But we don't have confirmation on that, nor do we have confirmation if anything here was actually hit. And then finally, it appears that a power substation in Moscow was struck, and that resulted in an electricity outage. Interesting. Especially given that it's minus 27 centigrade. That's minus 33 Fahrenheit, I think. Something like that. Or maybe I have those backwards, but it's something like that. It's fucking cold, is the point. And now is not the time to be without power in Moscow. If you're trying to keep your population from turning into an angry mob who can't afford eggs to throw at you, letting them live without heat is not going to endear them to you at all. So what we see is an escalation. Sure, Moscow can send 1 million missiles at a time. Or can they? I have another video coming up about that. But they can try, but they're going to get it back too. That should be clear. And this thing about not hitting the Russians, that bullshit is over. It is time to take this war home to the Russian people. and see a little suffering on the other side of the border. And maybe then we'll see a resolution to this conflict. Guys, if you like what I do, please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to support what I do and join a community of people that are making a difference both online and in the real world, then maybe join my Patreon. If you join the Patreon at a level of $30 or more a month, you get a video sponsored in your name. And this video was sponsored by Dark Vermin, who has one of the best handles on TikTok. Thanks so much, Paula. Really appreciate you. Take care.